welcome to HSE with Sustainable EHS Consulting, the podcast where we explore the latest trends, strategies, and innovations in sustainability, health and safety, and environmental management. I'm your host, Barbara Dereka, and today we are discussing a topic that's crucial for the future of our planet and businesses alike: carbon footprint reduction and decarbonization strategies for companies in the UK. This episode will offer valuable insight into why reducing carbon emissions is essential, what strategies companies can implement, and how the UK is leading the way in the global fight against the climate change. Let's start by defining what we mean by carbon footprint. A carbon footprint refers to the total amount of greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, that are emitted directly or indirectly by an individual, organization, event, or product. For companies, this includes emissions from operations, energy consumption, transportation, supply chains, and even the life cycle of the products they produce. Why does this matter? Because these emissions contribute to global warming and climate change, which are already having profound impacts on our environment, economies and societies. In the UK, the government has set an ambitious target to reach net zero carbon emissions by 2050, which means companies are under increasing pressure to reduce their carbon footprints and adopt more sustainable practices. So, what is decarbonization and why is it so important? Decarbonization refers to the process of reducing carbon dioxide emissions through the adoption of low carbon or zero carbon technologies, energy sources, and practices. For companies, decarbonization isn't just about meeting regulatory requirements, it's about future-proofing their operations, reducing costs, and enhancing their reputation among increasingly eco-conscious consumers. It's not just about avoiding the risk associated with climate change, such as more extreme weather events, supply chain disruptions, and changing customer demands. Decarbonization also presents significant opportunities for innovation, growth, and competitive advantage. Companies that take the lead in reducing their carbon footprints are better positioned to capitalize on new markets, attract investment, and build stronger, more resilient brands. Now, let's dive into some of the key strategies companies in the UK can implement to reduce their carbon footprints and support the transition to a low-carbon economy. The first one is energy efficiency. One of the most effective ways to reduce emissions is to improve energy efficiency. This could involve upgrading to energy-efficient lighting, HVAC systems, and machinery, optimizing building insulation, and implementing smart energy management systems. By reducing energy consumptions, companies can lower both their carbon footprint and their energy bills. Basically, a win-win situation. The second one is renewable energy. Switching to renewable energy sources such as wind, solar, or biomass is another critical step. Many UK companies are already making the shift to 100% renewable electricity, either by installing their own renewable energy systems or by purchasing green energy from suppliers. The UK's commitment to expanding offshore wind farms and other renewable projects provides a strong foundation for this transition. The next one is sustainable transportation. Transportation is a major source of emissions for many companies, whether it's from employee commuting, logistics, or business travel. Strategies to reduce transportation emissions include adopting electric vehicles, optimizing delivery routes, promoting remote work, and encouraging the use of public transport or cycling. Additionally, companies can offset emissions from unavoidable travel through carbon offset programs. The next one is sustainable supply chains. Reducing emissions across the supply chain is a critical yet challenging aspect of decarbonization. This involves working closely with suppliers to adopt sustainable practices, such as sourcing raw materials responsibly, reducing waste, and improving energy efficiency. Companies can also leverage technology such as blockchain to increase transparency and track emissions throughout their supply chain. The next one is carbon offsetting. For emissions that cannot be eliminated entirely, carbon offsetting can be an effective strategy. This involves investing in projects that remove or reduce carbon from the atmosphere, such as reforestation, renewable energy projects, or carbon capture and storage. While offsetting shouldn't be the primary strategy, it can play an important role in achieving net zero goals. Finally, circular economy. Adopting circular economy principles can also help reduce carbon emissions by minimizing waste and making better use of resources. This means designing products that are durable, repairable, and recyclable, as well as finding ways to reuse materials and reduce the need for virgin resources. The UK government has set ambitious targets to reduce national carbon emissions, and is providing a framework to help businesses transition to a low-carbon economy. The Climate Change Act 2008 established the UK's commitment to reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and more recent initiatives like the 10-point plan for a green industrial revolution outline the steps the government is taking to support decarbonization across sectors. These policies include investments in renewable energy, electric vehicle infrastructure, and green finance, as well as support for innovation in low-carbon technologies. Additionally, regulations such as the streamlined energy and carbon reporting require large companies to report their energy use and carbon emissions, increasing transparency and accountability. The government's support is crucial, but the success of these initiatives depends on the active participation of businesses. By aligning with these policies and taking proactive steps to reduce their carbon footprints, companies can contribute to the UK's leadership in the global fight against climate change. Decarbonizing a business isn't just about meeting regulatory requirements or avoiding fines. It offers benefits that can drive growth and success. Among these benefits are cost savings. Energy efficiency measures, such as upgrading equipment and optimizing processes, can lead to significant cost savings on energy bills. As the cost of renewable energy continues to fall, companies can also benefit from lower operational costs by switching to cleaner energy sources. Another benefit is enhanced brand reputation. Consumers and investors are increasingly prioritizing sustainability. Companies that take visible steps to reduce their carbon footprints can enhance their brand reputation, build customer loyalty, and attract investment from ESG-focused funds. Risk mitigation is another benefit. By reducing reliance on fossil fuels and increasing operational resilience, companies can mitigate risk associated with energy price volatility, supply chain disruptions, and stricter environmental regulations. Lastly, innovation and competitive advantage. Decarbonization can drive innovation, leading to the development of new products, services, and business models. Companies that lead the way in sustainability are more likely to gain a competitive edge in their industries. As we've discussed today, reducing carbon footprints and adopting decarbonization strategies is not just an environmental imperative, it's a business one. Companies in the UK have a unique opportunity to lead by example, contributing to the global fight against the climate change while reaping significant business benefits. That's all for today's episode of HSC with Sustainable VHS Consulting. I hope you found this discussion on decarbonization and sustainability quite insightful. Remember, this is just a start, and we all have to support sustainability in our ways. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast, share it with your colleagues, and leave us a review. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in the future, please feel free to reach out. Until next time!